96%.
96%?
Yes. Trucks have a special place among Iranians. Every time I talk about trucks, I just go crazy. Like a
BMW.
BMW is a can of a worm. You know, you just go to the BMW. It's a big fight over there.
My dream would be to buy a Jian and somehow outfit it so that it could handle the climate here in Canada and drive around and have Jian driving around in a Jian.
And Iran is the worst place for the EV car. We do not have excess electric energy. We already have a problem in our grid. We don't have the backbone for the charging at all. Like a German guys just buy the Volkswagen Golf or Passat, but Iran, no, Mercedes, BMW only. Iranian uncle who wants a status definitely goes for a Toyota Land Cruiser.
It's December 18, 2025. This is Roqe. Well, hi there. Welcome to episode 401 of Roqe. I'm Jian Ghomeshi. Salam Dustan Aziz. Durud bar shoma. Hope you are doing well wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Hope you don't have this global pandemic sickness that the entire Roqe team has had or has, depending on who you ask, for the last 2 or 3 weeks. In the meantime, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas, happy Yalda, happy all of the rest of them, whatever I'm leaving out. We hope you'll be happy. Next week is Christmas. It's going to be our Christmas show. The week after, Roqe, which falls on Thursdays, that's when we post this show, is going to be New Year's Day. We are 2 weeks away from 2026. Come on, get happy. And I'm happy because on this edition of Roqe, something a little different, a guy who I really enjoy following, Vahid Amirimoghaddam. He is our feature guest. He's an Iranian Canadian who has built one of the most popular automotive pages on Instagram with more than 400,000 followers, watching the cars he gets behind the wheel of and then talks about. The page is called Cars I Have Driven. Vahid Amirimoghaddam will join me here in the Roqe studio. It's his first time in our Roqe studio. He's a guy who lives in Montreal and travels around the world constantly. So it's great to have him here in Toronto for a conversation about cars, about culture, about the psychology of Iranians and their relationship with cars, particularly Iranian men, and his unlikely rise online to stardom in the car world. He's kind of like the Iranian Jeremy Clarkson, if you know who that is. Vahid Amirimoghaddam, I will ask him about BMWs, Mercedes, Toyotas, and the Jian, amongst other things, to get his nazar. That's coming up. Before that, let me tell you that Roqe Live 6 is set for Thursday, February 19th at the Richmond Hill Centre for the Performing Arts. Tickets are available now. If you haven't got your tickets and you can be in the Greater Toronto area, February 19th, you don't want to miss this. Why? Shahram Shapare, the titan of Iranian pop music and culture, a pioneer whose music has defined generations and electrified stages across the world. He's kind of become the soundtrack of Iranian identity. He will attend, he will participate, he will receive the Roqe Media Icon Award. Dr. Tina Parsa will be joining us. Dr. Kaveh Madani will be joining us. Shali Zomorodi, DJ Al, Ehsan Karimi, Ghazal Akhundzadeh, Pega Ganji. I'll be hosting. It's going to be quite the night. Roqe Live 6, our 6th iteration of the live version of this show that we do each week. It's a variety show. Again, if you're in the Greater Toronto area, you want to get your tickets down, you can link to those tickets from the Roqe Media Instagram page. In the bio is the link for the tickets. So go to the Roqe Media Instagram page, click the bio, and you'll get the link for tickets for Roqe Live 6. There are good seats still available, but they're going pretty fast. And don't come to me in the beginning of February when it's a couple weeks away from Roqe Live 6 and say, Jian, we really want to come, but where are the good seats? There's no tickets left. We're telling you right now, get them now. Maybe a Christmas present, a Yaldane present. Do we give presents for Yaldane? No. Tina's like, no. خب میتونیم دیگه یه کادوی واسه یلدا. Happy Yalda. Here's a couple of tickets to Roqe Live 6. Hanukkah, you give presents for Hanukkah. Definitely for Christmas. Roqe Live 6, February 19th. Get your tickets now. Today's episode of Roqe is brought to you in part by Stellar Law. Stellar Law is a boutique litigation firm in Toronto led by its founder and principal lawyer, Rana Nosrat Panah. The firm operates on a simple premise: complex disputes demand disciplined thinking and meticulous preparation. Representing both individuals and businesses, this team handles commercial conflicts, criminal matters, sensitive personal or financial disputes with a measured, analytical approach. Clients turn to Stellar Law for clear strategy, direct guidance, and advocacy that is practical and exciting. Rana and her team are known for distilling intricate issues into decisive action, navigating high-stakes matters with discretion, focus, and unwavering professionalism. For clients seeking representation grounded in judgment, rigor, and strategic clarity, Stellar Law offers something increasingly rare: a litigation practice built on preparation, trust, and results. Check out Stellar Law on Instagram at Stellar Law. Thanks again to Rana Nosrat and the team at Stellar Law. All right, well, my featured guest today is in love with his car. He's got a feel for his automobile, as Freddie Mercury would say. He's a warm, thoughtful Iranian-Canadian engineer who happened to become one of the most respected voices in online car culture, with one of the most popular social media pages dedicated to all things auto, Cars I Have Driven. His Instagram alone boasts over 400,000 followers these days. You might say he's the minister of motors, the sultan of sedans, the rampager of rides, the warrior of wheels. And he is, for the first time, in the Roqe studio today for a conversation about his passion, his journey, his social media success, and the cultural psychology of Iranians and cars, among other things. Because, let's be honest, in our community, a car is never just a car. It's aspiration on four wheels. It's identity with a key fob. It's the sound of freedom when the engine turns over on a cold Montreal morning. And somewhere between long Quebec winters and the wide highways of North America, this guy developed a way of not just driving cars, but interpreting them, contextualizing them, and helping a diaspora see itself through machines that roar, glide, and sometimes make you feel alive. What makes Vahid truly interesting isn't just horsepower or badges. It's perspective, it's curiosity, it's the way he sees culture in exhaust notes and personality in steering feel. And he even understands some of us who think the whole fancy car as status thing in our community may be overdone and anachronistic. He's taken what could have been a niche hobby and built a global platform, one that's become kind of a roadmap for performance, taste, and what cars really mean to us. So let's get to it. Right now, I'm joined in the Roqe studio by the guy from Cars I Have Driven, Vahid Amirimoghaddam. Hello, sir.
Jian, I'm so happy to hear it. I'm glad finally I made it.
I almost made it through Amirimoghaddam without stopping, but it's a very long last name, especially for like a guy who grew up Khariji.
Trust me, that's a quite a topic opening with so many people. It's like, how am I gonna pronounce this?
You couldn't just go with Amiri or Moghaddam or
generally I introduce myself Amiri only, and then just took the Moghaddam out of it because Moghaddam is kind of like make it so long. But yeah, it's a funny part of it.
It's nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
It's been a long time coming. We've known each other for a while. I'm a fan of your work, and And I've never had you here in the studio. You were on a previous episode, but never solo in the studio, and it's great to have you here, man.
I am so happy that I'm here, and I have to mention that I've been your fan much longer before that you know my work. I mean, from the Q on the radio and all the way back. So I'm so happy. It's a privilege that I'm here.
Thank you, brother. You drove here from Montreal today.
This morning.
So this is true to form. Like, do you, when you can, I mean, you have to take the flight sometimes. You have to take a plane most of the time if you're going really far. But for trips like Montreal to Toronto, you prefer to drive, or just happened that way?
Yeah. No, I mean, generally this distances like this is easy for me to drive. But today was a big challenge because it was a snowstorm, and then I find out I said, no, I'm not going to miss this one. So
am I allowed to ask what kind of car you're driving today?
It's the Mercedes E-Class.
Oh.
Yeah.
Irani.
It's very Iranian, right? I mean,
like, you're already a stereotype. We barely started the chat. Even the guy who goes through all the cars and describes them still drives the Mercedes E-Class.
I mean, I'm getting old, you know. It's just driving an E-Class is an old man.
When did the love for, first of all, you're an engineer. You're an electronic engineer?
Yes, I am. Yes.
And you work in oil
and gas industry.
Oil and gas. But this passion you've had for cars, when did this first begin? I mean, when did you know? I'm assuming this happened as a kid, right?
Yes. I mean, I always try to dig it, and I think it has a bunch of places that has sparked the whole love for the car. But I think that the beginning was coming from all those Matchbox and Hot Wheels that we used to have as a kids, and it was a reward for me if I was a good kid and I behave. Every time we go out, they reward me a Matchbox.
So did you grow up in Iran?
Yes, I did.
So you guys had Hot Wheels in Iran?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what that, do they still exist?
Yeah, it's actually huge thing right now. This last couple of years,
it's come back.
Yes, it's come back.
It's like the tracks, and then you'd have these cars that I had a Hot Wheels set when I was a kid.
But people are collecting it right now. So the collection of the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox is huge. And in Iran, actually, they're following the whole trend. And I'm a collector too myself.
Of Hot Wheels?
And
cars?
So, cars. I mean, the big one and the small one.
Car culture.
Yes.
What do you remember about what you loved about cars?
So everything about the cars was fascinating me since I was a kid. I mean, the sound, the look of the cars, the interior and everything. And I remember one of my uncle was, the big thing with him was like he used to give me his keys and said, go start my car. And I was like 6 years old, and it was the best joy that I could see.
Do you remember the car, the kind of car?
He was an oil engineer too, so he was driving an old Chevy pickup. And I was just climbing.
And you were in Tehran? Where were you?
No, I was living in Ahvaz.
You were Ahvaz?
Yes, I am Khuzestani.
Oh, you're a brother. All right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So all American culture, cars, and the oil industry and everything.
I don't even know your age. Would that be pre-revolution, Ahvaz?
Yes. Okay. So I'm 1974.
Okay. So you just before that. Right?
Yes, just before that. Not so much of it, but yeah, I tasted a little bit.
And then Ahvaz changes with the Iran-Iraq War, all of that.
Absolutely.
Too. But so do you remember the first car you fell in love with?
The first car that I actually fell in love with, I actually remember it very well. I was 7 years old, and I got gifted a Mercedes S-Class. The typical.
It's a theme already.
Yes.
Mercedes, yeah.
Yeah, and it was green. It was kind of like a special green.
You didn't get gifted the car. You mean a toy?
The toy, yes.
Okay,
yeah, the die-cast toy.
Right.
Yes, the die-cast toy.
Were your parents into cars?
Well, no. My dad was a kind of lawyer, and it was no. But I mean, the love for the car was among our family as well. You can see, I mean, especially in Khuzestan, in Ahvaz, everybody loved American cars and stuff like that. So I felt it since I was a kid. This is around me.
You end up coming to Canada. Where does Cars I Have Driven come from? I mean, when did you have this idea of like, I'll start talking in social media about cars?
So Cars I Have Driven started when I was in one of my assignment with the oil company in Malaysia. So I was in KL, and I was attending this kind of like a get around with the Ferraris and all the stuff over there. And we were talking with people, and everybody liked the way I was talking about the cars. And I was thinking that, why am I not sharing this with others? I mean,
Like, you were known as a guy who's into cars. Your friends would have known that you were
my
a car
friend,
guy,
yes,
right?
yes, but it was
Your girlfriend would have wanted you to help buy the car. That kind of thing,
absolutely. Everybody comes to me for the car, obviously,
Right.
yeah. But then I was like, maybe I should have started sharing this. I'm doing a lot of cars. Let's share it with others. And the name come from there. I said, well, I'm driving so many cars. Let's call it Cars I Have Driven. And it started from a Facebook, a small Facebook page, which it was quite popular.
I mean, you're kind of a performer, right? Like, you're funny. You're very comfortable on camera. Have you always been a performer? Did you know that about yourself?
Some people are asking me that you should, if you lose your job, you should be a stand-up comedian. But I like to add some, because this is exactly how I see the cars. I make fun of them, you know. I get angry with them, and it's just I laugh with them, and among my friends, that's exactly how I do it. So
Are you the Iranian Jeremy Clarkson, or do we have an Iranian Jeremy Clarkson?
Jeremy Clarkson is a big influence in the entire of my car career. You know, I have to say that, and I would say some of the jokes may come from the way that, because he's quite sarcastic about so many things, you know, and I love to be and some people call me, maybe because I'm tall, and it's just you know, this is kind of like a goofy like him sometimes, you know, the way it is, but no, I like to make fun of cars, and it has to.
Well, you're very sweet I mean, you're very soft spoken in person.
Yeah,
but not on camera, not on your channel.
Well, you find me more aggressive.
I mean, I get, not aggressive, but you'll kind of call things out. You can be kind of loud sometimes.
Listen, I'm a Gemini, so.
Me too. Is that a character though, or is that the real you?
No, that's absolutely me. Yes, yes.
And did you have any sense that, like, when you started it, I mean, over 400,000 followers isn't a joke. I mean, did you have any sense of how this thing was going to take off?
Absolutely not. I mean, when I moved from a Facebook to the Instagram, I was thinking that this is going to be a small thing, and then all of a sudden we reached to 10,000, and back in the day in 2018, 10,000 was like, this is unreal. Where are these people are coming from?
Right.
And then just from there it was just keep going, and now it became part of my daily contribution to the page.
Well, it's not yet a job for you. It's still sort of a sideline, right?
It absolutely a sideline, but it brought me so many other things. The network just grow up, because I met people over the Instagram page, and then make friends, and then now we have a garage in Montreal, which we work on the cars as well, which just comes through the page, and we do a lot of works over there, and I have big network of car people, Iranian or non-Iranian, so it's just all over the place.
Do you have a keen sense of who these 420,000 followers are?
So of course you can see it through the Instagram, that where they're from, and what is the topology of age and everything. You know, you can see that. So they're very.
Should I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Dudes, guys.
96%.
96%.
Yes.
Wow, I wouldn't have known it was that. Now, what does that tell you?
That it's just, the car is a big part of the Persian culture. You know,
for men though.
For men, yes.
Do you think that's a crazy stat?
Yes.
96% of your followers.
Yes.
Are
men.
Men.
Yeah.
You know, Roqe, we slightly have more of a female following, so it doesn't necessarily follow that. Men, in fact, men, I think in general on Instagram are less than women. So it either means that your content doesn't appeal to women because of you somehow,
could be,
or probably more likely that that fetish that Iranian men or men have for cars, which would be the stereotype, doesn't exist as much for women who may love cars but are not going to be like get into the weeds about it.
The thing is, I mean, when I talk about cars and on my page, it's just quite deep technical side of the cars, and it sometimes I noticed that my interest is moved toward the places that it's less people like it, or more people into the technical side, because we talk about Formula One, we talk about racing, we talk about the engine, the whole inside, and obviously everything else. But the 96%, I think it just comes from the fact that it's just I love it because I really attract car guys rather than people who just want to spend some time.
Are they older guys or younger guys, or all over the place?
No, it's just the majority. I think the 65% sits between 18 to 24.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, they're quite young.
Yeah, quite young. Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
And where are they?
So clearly, mainly from Iran. The very high percentage, about 80% from Iran. But then from all over the Iranian, all over the world, from Australia all the way to US. And then we have people from Tajikistan and Afghanistan and all Farsi speaking.
Because you do the channel in Persian.
Yes, and then so many of them just come forward and they said, oh, they love it and they really enjoyed it, and this is good. I was surprised when I heard.
There's some of the things that you do on the channel that I don't understand why they get so many views, to be honest. Like I no disrespect in the sense that most of your content is great, but then one of these videos will pop and I'll think, so I was looking at, for example, there's one you had from late October that is just basically a video of forklifts lifting wood into a large truck. It has 5.4 million views.
5.8 today.
5.8. I'm kind of watching it going, I mean, this is like, how there's like those popular videos now of people just opening boxes, those kind of things. It must be something like that. I don't get it. Like, I'm like, well, I mean, there's videos where you're on camera, you're very funny. This is literally just forklifts taking wood, putting it onto a truck, and you're describing the truck and the forklifts and what's happening. Why would that get 5.8 million views?
Personally, I have to mention that the trucks have a special place among Iranians. Every time I talk about trucks, I just go crazy. Like I have a video that has like 11 million views, and it's about trucks. So at some point, I really have to do more.
What's that about? What's the truck thing?
I don't remember that one, but particularly that one. But it was like about an accident.
No, but why the interest in trucks?
Yeah, because I mean the truck has such a special thing among the Iranians. I think every Iranian, one way to another, wanted to be a truck driver at some point of their life.
Really?
Yes. I mean, personally, myself, I love trucks too. I mean, I have cousins that they were into trucks. They were truck drivers. Every time I see a truck, inside, outside, we really love it. So it's a thing. We really like it. And then, so the truck videos are really booming.
I wanted to talk to you, I said in the intro, about the cultural psychology of Iranians and cars. First of all, there's definitely a relationship with Iranian men and cars in particular. Do you find that Iranians in different parts of the world, those people you hear from inside Iran, Iran, versus somebody in Montreal or Toronto, versus somebody in LA, versus somebody in Dubai, is the relationship with cars similar, or does it change and morph depending on where in the world they are?
Absolutely different. This is a very good point, and it's just I can see and I can tell you that as I can talk, and I'm talking to many of these people from Europe, from the Middle East, from LA or Montreal. So people in Dubai, obviously they love flashy cars, all kind of the show off. I mean, high horsepower, expensive. When you come to Montreal, for example, people want more economy car. It's just everything that they care is like how much is going to be the cost to maintain the car. What about the fuel economy? What about this stuff? They less think about the flashy side of the car.
They still care about the status, though.
Absolutely.
Isn't that the whole thing of our community?
I always say that's the next level. So among ourselves, we always talk about that. When we new person came here to Canada or to US, it's since in Iran the market is so close about cars, and everybody having a car is biggest status. Everybody thinks that, I'm just going to jump in and buy a Mercedes or Audi or BMW. Right. But then the reality hits. That not owning those cars here is as easy as it looks from outside.
Right.
But obviously, the brand of the car is quite an status, and for a lot of people, not only Iranian. I found it among among African, Indian, Chinese as well. And then all my Canadian friends, they really look at it as more as a utility,
Yes.
rather than some
Yes.
status.
Yes. I mean, they like nice cars, but it's not even what's paramount in terms of what you're looking for. You're looking for economy, dependability, that kind of thing. So what would be the profile, the difference between an Iranian Canadian who's looking for who's there, that relationship with a car versus somebody in LA, say?
Like another Iranian in LA?
Yes.
Yeah. So in LA, the car play a biggest role as the status of you. This even
Bigger role than here.
much bigger. Like
Bigger than Dubai? No, Dubai is
not really. Dubai is just its own, but in LA, it's all about show off. The showboating is always there. So people, depends on the job that they do. They just want to show up in a meeting, in a restaurant with a very nice ride, even if they cannot afford it. And this is the thing that we always have, because so many people come to me as a consulting, I want to buy this, what should I do? And everybody reaching out bigger than their pockets, because they want something to be really flashy, and this is the thing. And I'm the one who always played it down. I said, no, just look at I always go by rule of thumb, 11% of your income should be your payment, don't go above that. And they don't like it.
We talked about this when you were on a show about 3 or 4 years ago. You and another guy we did called Persians and Cars, and we were talking about this psychology, this relationship with Persians and cars, and the need for the luxury car, the status. And you were arguing that this begins very early with people in Iran literally demonstrating where they are on the economic ladder by the kind of car they drive.
Absolutely.
And that carrying that over to here, things like what's economical, what's good for the environment, what's dependable, mean a lot less than driving that type of vehicle that has status in our community. And I was saying on that episode, and I'll still say to you, that sometimes I find this obsession becomes quite inexplicable or irresponsible, in the sense that somebody with a modest income that can't afford, can barely afford a 1-bedroom apartment that they're renting, will be driving a Mercedes SUV to show that they are successful, quote unquote. And that feels a little, not just dishonest, but a bit sad, in our community.
Let's roll back to before revolution. And of those days that Iranians used to go to the U.S. as a student, and then they were allowed to bring a car back. And although they couldn't afford, they were all bringing Mercedes and the BMWs. And I have to be honest with you, the number of the nice cars that is still remain in Iran in the classic side is amazing. The collection, it's like a treasure of the high-end car in Iran from before the revolution is amazing, because people loved it. They will go far beyond. Like a German guys just buy the Volkswagen Golf or Passat, but Iran, no, Mercedes, right. BMW only is just, and it's even today still all the new cars are going to Iran. The country is opening slowly to new cars, but people don't like the basic car. Here we buy basic cars based on what we need. In Iran, everybody wants.
By the way, when we're talking about those high-end cars, are we including the super high, the McLarens, that type of thing as well, or we're basically talking about Mercedes and the coveted cars for Iranians?
Right now or before?
Right now.
I'm certain that once we are able to bring all those cars in Iran without any restriction, and you will see a huge number of the super sport high-end cars, which even today you can see them, some of them. So McLaren, Ferraris, Bugattis, they will show up because we love them.
But I'm going to do a little test with you later on. I'm
Sure.
going to give you some personality types, and you're going to tell me the car. But just to preempt that right now, if I were to say to you, Vahid, I'm an Iranian living in Toronto, and I want to buy. I got a decent budget. I can pay $100,000 or something like that. I want to buy a car that confers, that demonstrates that I have status. Which car is it?
Oh, well, definitely I will just refer you to some German ones like a Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, and Audis, and then $100,000, yes, something like that. This is definitely give you right away the status. Oh,
Is there a particular one of those, or they all qualify?
the, no particular, because the lower end one does not qualify. So it's $100,000, which is like
You don't want a cheap Mercedes.
No, you don't want a cheap.
And
Mercedes.
Iranians would know the difference, right?
Absolutely, they know. You don't want a cheap one. You don't want the low option ones. You want all the bits and whistles.
And what about Lexus? Does that not fit into this category?
So Lexus extremely popular in Iran, but it's not a status outside of Iran. Actually, it's considered quite on the lower end of it.
I think Tina drives a Lexus. So
No, but it's just, and I have to admit that I'm a little bit leaning toward the German car. So it's just I don't see the Lexus as on the luxury side too much.
do the ups and downs in the inside Iran, particularly I'm thinking about the 2022 and the post-killing of Mahsa Amini protests situation, and then the economic crisis, the war earlier this year. Does that affect the way people think about and buy cars?
That's actually a great question, and it's we are observing from here the Iranian market of the cars, and then since the economy of Iran is going down, and then the value of our money is so low, I can see the cars price in Iran is insane. Like, I have to admit, insane. Like, we're looking at the Mercedes GT and a sport Mercedes at the price of 50 of the same car here, but still people are buying it. So although the price are crazy, but people are willing to spend so much money on the cars, because in Iran, cars are not cars. They're gold. The return investment on the cars in Iran is better than anything else.
So, water crisis, water bankruptcy, energy crisis, those things don't affect. I want to come back to this sort of stereotypical idea of what Iranians believe they should be driving. Changes in the economic, political, social, environmental context don't change the mindset around, we should probably be driving Honda Civics. It would make more sense.
No, and I say that with certainty that for Iranian, it's just not even the new cars that they go to Iran from a Mercedes or a BMW is not appealing to them, because they want more luxurious, they want better, they just want all the bits and whistles and everything. So no, the taste of Iranian inside Iran for cars is absolutely expensive.
We're seeing some global shifts. EV adoption rising, luxury bands expanding, performance culture changing. What trends are you seeing among younger Iranians? Are they actually moving towards EVs, or does combustion still rule?
When EV introduced to the market, I see interest among the Iranian. But I said a couple of people that they're active in the car influencing environment, like myself. I think we push them away from it, because really and truly, I'm one of the biggest guy who's against the EV cars. I think the EV cars were wrong, and 4 years ago when we talk about that they are wrong, they're not gonna really they're not gonna make it happen. Everybody were against. People like me said, "Oh, you guys cannot adopt with the future. This is the future." But today we know that this is actually happening. The EV cars are not selling. Companies are dropping the project. So
I thought everything was supposed to be moving in that direction.
And then everybody's are backing up, even some European governments, and they were putting a deadline at 2030 or 2035, but then they're just canceling that. Mercedes-Benz, for example, come and said, "Oh, I'm gonna cancel all my V8," but they're bringing all the V8. They spend more money on the ICE, internal combustion. What happens is the world was not ready. The government was giving people some incentive, and then the backbone of the charging was not even there, and we do not have enough energy. The excess amount of the electric energy in Europe is only 3 to 5%. by adding all these cars into the market, we cannot satisfy our customer. So people jump and buy all the EV cars, and then all of a sudden they realize that that was wrong, and now this is a huge backlog in the market as all those EV cars are sitting there, nobody buying them.
What is and what about in Iran?
Okay, yes. So in Iran, what happened in Iran that unfortunately some of the Iranian businessmen who import cars, they went and grabbed all the EV cars because they were in a wholesale. You can buy them like today in here. I can go get you a $30,000 discount on an $80,000 EV car because nobody buying it. So they took an advantage of this and introduced lots of EV cars to Iran. But it's funny that although they look luxury and beautiful and modern in 2025, but when we look at it from here, we know that these cars have no market. That's why they scope them from the bottom of the market from here, put them over there. And in Iran is the worst place for the EV car. We do not have excess electric energy. We already have a problem in our grid. We don't have the backbone for the charging at all. So this is insane.
What have you observed about the relationship with Iranians, I guess, particularly in the diaspora, if not inside Iran, with Tesla?
I mean, obviously Tesla is an American car. Like, it couldn't make it to the market. It's not in the Iranian car, but it's not in the Iranian market. But at the beginning, it was quite amazing when some of the Tesla cars end up in Tehran streets or Iran streets. People were really interested about it, but then later on they realized that the quality of these cars are pretty low, and the gimmick, and Tesla is also losing its face. So I mean, and obviously market is now.
What about in the diaspora? Are they popular amongst Iranians?
Tesla were popular among Iranians. They really loved it. It was a status again at 5, 6 years ago. It was kind of like, oh my God, I'm driving a Tesla. The EV car. It's like an Apple phone or something like that. But then the whole market, the twist was amazing. The people who love Tesla, they start going against it. I mean, part of it comes from how Elon Musk was dealing political.
Yeah. But it is interesting that even hybrid cars, like some of my extended family members go back 10 years and they were all involved in getting hybrid SUVs and stuff, and they kind of come back around to just like regular old fancy Mercedes SUV, you know?
Absolutely. But if you ask me the future, what will be the future? It will be the hybrid car, the plug-in hybrid, but not the one that we have today right now in the market. The plug-in hybrid future will be in a small internal combustion engine and a big battery. That internal combustion only charging so you don't have the anxiety of the charge. The charge anxiety and battery anxiety is the biggest thing that people have.
Yeah.
And that's where the car industry is moving. Full electric is not going to work.
What's one overrated car that gets far more hype than it deserves? And then I'll give you, then give me one underrated car that has generally and genuinely surprised you.
Among Iranian?
No. This is now you as a car expert.
Okay, one overrated car, the whole world. I still want to go with the Toyota, and it's just
Toyota's overrated.
Absolutely overrated, because Toyota carry, and I explain how it works. for 3-4 decades.
Said the guy who drove a Mercedes from Montreal today. What's wrong with Toyota?
For 3-4 years, Toyota just building these cars that they were unbreakable. They would last forever. But they built this amazing name. They built this, and now they're using it, and they're selling people cars that they don't have the pedigree that they used to have, you know. So but still people are trusting the brand. And it is amazing. Again, I just want to mention that when all these new Toyotas goes to Iran market, there was a gap. Like, we had a gap of 15 years. And people said, oh, this is not good. These are made in China. But that's what the Toyota is today, you know. So I would say it is overrated. Even here in Canada market, people love Toyota, because second-hand car Toyotas are selling way overpriced than any other brands. So that's
what's an underrated car?
Ooh, it's just quite a hard question to ask.
What car doesn't get the love it deserves?
one of the cars that is actually all the Korean cars, especially Hyundai's, although people are kind of like, no, these are Korean, they're not good. But these companies are, last 10 years, they come a long way using all the German engineering minds, because they went and took the talent from Germany. So I believe that they are the companies who moving ahead, moving forward, and they're getting better and better. Versus we see some of the big names, they're going backwards. So for me, most of the Korean cars are underrated.
At this point, for you, if you get in a new car, how do you determine or define what makes a car special?
I'm a very performance-oriented guy. If I want to actually go and buy a car, so for me, definitely it's going to be internal combustion. I don't think I have ever going to own any EV or hybrid for the sake of it, and then a special is exclusive. So if your car has options and a performance,
like what are the options that appeal to you?
Is if the money is not the case,
yeah,
Aston Martin.
No, okay, that I see. But I mean, if you get in a car, what is it that what is it that really makes you feel like this is special? What do you think people should be looking for?
The craftsmanship, how all the pieces are put together, and the material that they use. Obviously, the design. One of the biggest problems that we have today is the design, that they're repetitive design among the brands. Like they make one design and they use it in all their models. So the companies who come up with a model that has this unique design is just make it very, very exclusive.
You had a great video a few months back about the video screens in cars, about how they first started, they were really small, and then they kept getting a little bigger, and now they're like in the back seats, on the seat, there's across the dashboard. Rohan was saying he drives a Tesla. The new Tesla is like, there's like, it's like a video screen, the whole front of the dashboard. How do you feel about that?
So I always call it the cancer of the cars. The screens are cancer of the auto industry, because first of all, as we think it's modern, it's cheaper, much cheaper for the car companies to put the screen rather than buttons and all those, because they're just much more complicated and it costs them more money, and the design is much harder because you just put the software and you shape it as you like. But it's the use of the screen is just been insane. Now we have 56-inch screen in front of the Cadillac and a Lincoln, and it's just, and a Mercedes is just coming for the whole dashboard screen, and the passenger has a screen as well. I don't even understand why the passenger needs to. I never understand that, So at some point we were just hoping that a 3-inch became 7-inch.
What don't you like about it? I mean, for me, it's even with my JCW with this big screen that I have now, I do find it distracting. I mean, I like it, but how can I not, get distracted with this big screen in front of me rather than following where I'm going on the road? Now, the balance of that is supposed to be the newer cars tell you if you're in the wrong lane, or give you warnings if you're too close to another car, or that type of thing. So and show it to you on the screen. But I'm not sure if that actually makes sense with all the distractions on the dashboard. That would be my issue. Is that your issue with the screens?
Definitely, the distraction is a big thing. And then today we're talking in the car industry that how come holding a mobile phone is a distraction, but you have 56-inch of screen in front of you with so many information is not a distraction. It's even worse. But my main problem as a car guy is that it took away all the essence of interior design. Because if you go back into 70s, 80s, 90s, the car designers sat and designed an interior with so many twists and beautiful, buttons and pieces. But right now, there's none of that. It's a formula. 2 screen, big one, put it side by side. If you want to be a little bit more special, third one, that's it.
It's so interesting to hear that the screens are cheaper. That's counterintuitive. because they're sold to you as if, look at this, we've got the new technology. This is fancier than what we had before.
Yeah, that is amazing because 7-8 years ago, if you want to have a cluster and it's digital, you have to pay extra. But today they all move that because it's much cheaper, because the screen that we see could be at $2, $3 for a company when they ordered hundreds of thousands of them, and you don't have to design anything. That's absolutely cheaper.
For people who want a great driving experience but are not car experts, what qualities should they actually be paying attention to?
Driving experience, it for me, it comes to two things that is so important: the suspension and the transmission. The engine today, we have so many engines that actually perform good enough for our day-to-day drive. But how you mate the transmission to that engine, and then how you lay the car on a suspension, it makes a huge difference. And I have so many examples of the same engine on the different cars, but because it has a different transmission and how it's programmed, is behave absolutely different, and then the suspension comes to play. So if you really want to enjoy and you can see the difference, that's where the difference you can see.
But how do you know something like suspension? I mean, how do you know if you're trying to buy a car and you're going for a test drive? How do you know something like that? How do you feel that?
So the cheaper car or a more economic car, they're sitting on a much more simpler suspension, where it's just in a very technical terms, less arms connect those tires to the suspension. So the more complicated cars, they have several arms that connect in your tires. So your control is so accurate, and your drive is plush. It's just soft, and you feel it. And you're sitting in this. I mean, if it's an air ride or something like that, you don't feel any of those bumps, and then it's a beautiful drive.
Okay.
I call it a velvety drive.
A velvety, just smooth velvet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you some personalities, and you're going to tell me what kind of car that they should get.
Sure.
Ready? The Iranian uncle who wants status.
Iranian uncle who wants status definitely goes for a Toyota Land Cruiser.
A what Land Cruiser?
A Toyota Land Cruiser.
A Toyota Land Cruiser?
Yes.
That's what they get status with?
100%.
I expected you to say something else.
No.
A Toyota Land Cruiser. All right.
Toyota Land Cruiser, among the Iranian, I think it's above the Rolls Royce even.
Well, okay. The Toronto Montreal tech guy who wants quiet luxury.
A tech guy, that's quite a twist. It will go for a BMW, and it's specifically it's got to be a 5 Series.
A 5 Series BMW. A true enthusiast who wants driving soul, not flash.
A Volkswagen Golf R.
Oh. The confident Iranian man that doesn't need to derive his status from a car and just wants something smart, practical, dependable.
A Volvo. Any Volvo.
Oh. Volvos they've been pretty consistent, right?
Yes.
Like Subaru.
Yes. Well, I mean, Volvo sits in the luxury side of the market.
All right. These are some tougher questions. What's one car you think Iranians love that they really should not love?
That's a very tough. That's a very tough question, and I think all the roads are kind of like end up in the Rome. It's a Toyota. It's just we love Toyotas too much. It's just we shouldn't. We should look at the other brands.
So you think Iranians love Toyotas and should not love Toyotas?
No, there are cars right now in the market.
I thought we were talking about Mercedes and BMWs. Iranians love Toyotas.
Absolutely. In fact, I have to give you this perspective that recently there is a movement among Iranian against the German cars, because there were so many people are kind of like promoting that these German cars are so expensive to maintain. They're always leaking oil and they're always in the garages. But Iranians, when it comes to it, Toyota is the best, and then the rest. That's how it started.
And what's one car you think Iranians should love, but usually ignore?
Iranian ignore a lot of good cars in the market, I have to say, and it's not because of them. It's about the people who choose what to bring to the country. But one of the cars that I always said that is great for Iran is a Škoda. Škoda. That's another company from the Volkswagen group. Yes, and it's this is an amazing car using the same German technology.
Iranians are not big on Volkswagens, right?
No, Iranians.
Those are my first couple of cars were Volkswagens.
No, Iranians are not big in Volkswagen. Iranians are not big in Honda, for example, which is the great Japanese car. You know, it's just they just don't like it.
It just telegraphs as too cheap.
It is like a. It's just something that they're not familiar with. I think it comes from our dad's time, because back in the day it was Toyotas and Toyotas and Toyotas. We had so many of them in Iran. So these days it's just like Honda never ever works good in Iran, which it should have. With Civic, with Accord, they're a really good brand. It never blow up in Iran.
When you've been doing Cars I've Driven for a few years now.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you get a lot of interaction comments that you respond to. You've probably got a network of people around the world that you talk to, fans of yours, followers, etc.
Yes, it's actually huge. And it's one of the things that I really always in the Cars I Have Driven, I try to keep it as a signature of the page is I answer almost everybody.
Amazing. Even those who are giving you fush?
Yes. Yes. and I learned to do the anger management.
So here's what I want. What has surprised you in amongst the Iranians who are in your audience? Give me an example of some feedback you got that actually was a surprise to you. The one feedback that's always actually got me, and it's kind of like it's a negative one. It's just like they always criticize the way I talk about cars in Farsi. It's just like you try to make it in a way that you're not actually talking in a real word. But as at least all my friends, they know that this is me in front of the camera and behind the camera, I'm the same person. There's no difference. Maybe a little bit of the less bad words, less fush, because I'm Oilers, so Oilers are on that side. But other than that, the whole pronunciation. I actually had an interaction with you before about the pronunciation. Us Iranian, we really have an issue with the pronunciation of the English word in the right manner. In some cases,
it's just like why I say Cadillac, why I'm not saying Cadillac or.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you say the English version in the middle of the Persian language.
I can't help it.
Cadillac instead of Cadillac.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because it's my. Because I talk and read and watch everything in English, so I can't help it. It just come, and then most of the time I go and correct myself. Said Cadillac, no Cadillac, and then they said, "Oh, see, you can say the Cadillac. Why you say Cadillac?" I know.
All right. What's another example of that? I guess
like
BMW.
BMW is a can of a worm. You just go to the BMW. It's a big fight over there.
Because what do you usually say?
BMW, yes. Yeah. It just comes BMW. It's always a BMW.
It's amazing that people care. That they're like, why are you saying?
Oh yeah.
Why are you not saying BMW?
No, they send me messages.
یعنی فکر می‌کنم ادا داری در میاری.
Absolutely.
I think you're being pretentious.
Yes. مثلا میگن که مدیر عامل BMW هم میگه BMW. So you are in contact with the BMW, you see. It's like or any like a Chevrolet is just like why are you not saying Chevrolet? It's like it slipped through my mouth. It's not like I don't want to, but when you talk so long in front of the cameras, it's just slip.
And what have you most learned, or what's one thing you've learned from your audience? Either about yourself or about cars, or
it's one of the things that I learned is just the more honest with your audience are, and it's just everything is just like this is what it is, no show off. I mean, opinion as it is. They really like it much better than that, because I know so many people, they pretend their own opinion about the cars, but I don't. So good or bad. And one of the things that I always like to maintain is, and I learned it, that the balance, when I critique a car, I want to keep that balance. Is like, you can't just go and say, oh, everything is perfect about this. When you talk about one car, it's just, there are good things and bad things about every brand, even the one that I love. There are brands that are really special for me, but there are bad things about them too. So you have to talk about everything. It's just
really great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
I've been looking forward to having you in studio, seeing you in person. Before I let you go, let me ask you a question or two about the future. It seems to me that we don't even know what anything's going to look like 6 months from now, due to AI and robotics and the way the world is just transforming before our eyes. Even, last week we had a show about the 400th episode of Roqe, and we were talking about, we only launched this show 5.5 years ago, but everything about doing a show like this, almost everything has changed in just 5 years. Zoom didn't exist when we launched this show, So when it comes to cars and AI and new technology, what can you imagine is what we are driving? I mean, we hear these things about self-driving cars and, completely different looking cars. Is our driving experience going to change in the next 5 or 10 years?
I brought this up a couple of months ago, that the future they want to shape the future in a way that we do not choose any look on the cars, or we don't care about the look of the cars. They want to make all the cars look exactly same, so they can go in a mass production of all these, self-driving EV cars that they just solely use for the transportation. And I am pretty sure in maybe 20, 30 years from now, owning an V8 roaring amazing engine or a 12-cylinder, it would be a very, very special thing that such a small percentage of people can even afford, not only can have.
So what will most of us be driving?
They want to take away the taste.
By the way, that's really interesting, because I've noticed, I've been talking about this for a couple of years, where everything now looks like basically what we used to call a basic SUV. Every car looks like that now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Even the cars that were small cars, the minis, have become SUVs. The cars that were bigger have become those regular sizes. Everything just looks kind of the same.
They are doing this. They are normalizing that by the same interior in the different brands, same exterior, same front end, back end, and they were really and truly, they want to do that.
What would the incentive of competing car companies be to not be unique?
So the mass product, the problem is all the big names, they have to unite and fight against the Chinese cars, because they're coming so strong, and in North American markets are close the doors, but if they open the doors, they will really bankrupt so many companies. So these guys are, you heard about the Honda and Nissan, they tried to became one, which it didn't work, but everybody's are worried about that. So if you normalize all your design, interior, exterior, everything, then you will make more money, because you don't have to do a specific this model, that model. Everything looks same, and then the taste in the people, and then it works with the younger people. Our younger they don't really want to own cars anymore. They don't care about going from A to B. Just as long as it's taking them, it's fine. It's back in 70s. I was recently I went to Biloxi, Mississippi, for the biggest get-together. They call it biggest block party in North America, with all the classic cars are coming. They call it cruising the coast, and the audience over there was just 10,000 muscle cars, American cars, 10,000. This was my first year, and next year I'm gonna do the whole week, because I really loved it. But the audience was really and truly average 65 to 70 years old. There was no young people over there. Right. They don't care about that anymore. So they're killing.
So it's not as big a deal to just streamline automobiles. So you feel like the uniqueness, the diversity of cars is eroding.
See, exactly. Those monitors, they all look exactly same, and right. they are giving you exact same thing. Some of the car companies, they want to put the Apple Apple system inside their car, so everything inside the car work with Apple.
Wasn't that always the case? I mean, wouldn't GM steal from Chrysler and I mean ideas? I mean, what is this a new thing?
It is a new thing because the young generation they're so comfortable using their phone. So some of them become Aston Martin try to put all the Apple buttons and everything in the digital side, and then just you control the AC, everything inside the car with the Apple, so because it's appealing to the young people.
Well, I guess I'm the young people because I like my CarPlay.
See? So,
Rahat misham دیگه. What's wrong with that?
Well, you categorize on the youngers, and I'm an old one. I like this. I like those 70s with all the buttons and something that doesn't work.
No, I see the special qualities of those kind of cars. But by the way, I didn't ask you yet where Jian ranks in terms of the status cars.
Do you actually remember when Jian came to Iranian market? What was the promise that they? I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard about it.
Well, I don't remember, obviously, but and I've never seen one in person. I can't wait to see a Jian. They look quite lovable. My dream would be to buy a Jian and somehow outfit it so that it could handle the climate here in Canada and drive around and have Jian driving around in a Jian. But I think what you're referring to, or what I remember hearing about, is that they said a Jian will never
roll over.
Never roll over.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a stable
So
car.
نمیتونی چپش کنی. That was the thing. But since my taste is older than you, and I'm older than you, I have seen the Jian in person and I have driven.
Well, I wasn't in Iran too.
No, I know.
People who are in Iran.
No,
I'm
I'm kidding. But I've driven one. So
you've driven a Jian.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, with that special, change gear that it just goes back and forth. It's like
How's the suspension?
it's like you are in a. I have to say, it felt exactly like you're on a water mattress. Those the one that just the bubbly as it is.
Yeah, well, it kind of does that, right?
All the time.
It doesn't seem like a vehicle that you could go on a long trip with.
It does not, but people used to do. And it's funny that I have seen the engine from the close, and it's 600 cc. It's smaller than a packet of the milk. It's just like and it's just amazing that it came to Iran. It was so.
So where does it? I mean, they don't make them anymore, right? So,
no.
So it's a collector's item now.
It is a collector.
So it actually would have status now.
It does, yes, yes. And I know
little red Jian.
Yes, I've seen a bunch of them here. It's so hard to find the one that we have in Iran because that was the Citroen Dion 2C. But the older one, the one that you have here in your background, I've seen some at $30,000 here.
Oh, you in Canada?
Yes.
Well, it's funny because I had a friend who took a photo somewhere in Toronto. There was a Jian driving around, and
yes,
and so I wanted to get out of the road and drive to find it, but I don't know if I'll put the call out again.
Next
if anybody
time,
has a Jian,
next time we have one, we'll call you in. We'll fly you in.
I would love to drive around in a Jian. What's at this stage of your life, having driven more cars than most people will ever see up close, what's the dream car you haven't driven yet? Is there one?
Yes. I thought about this a lot, and it's for me. It's somewhere either it's Ferrari F40 or F50, and it's an old car. It's like it belonged to the 30 years ago, and I'm sure you want to know why, because it's such a raw and a pure experience of driving without anything between you and a car. It's just there is no aid, there is no electronic help or something like that. It's you and it's a car. It's either you kill it or it will kill you. So I really, really want to try that. But then I have another dream.
Where do you get one of those?
It's a very, very high-end collector item, the F40 and then an F50. I've seen.
And you've never seen one.
I've seen several of them, but it's kind of like impossible to ask people that can I take it for a test drive or something like that, because it's expensive, $2 million. Some of them depends on the insurance and everything. And then the one thing that I think I would never have a chance to drive it's a Le Mans 917 Porsche, which I really wanted to try, see how is it going to feel, because it's going to blow my mind. I'm pretty sure it will.
You're gonna have to. Are you currently single?
Yes.
So you're gonna have to find a partner who's like really into cars. If you ever.
Yes,
Otherwise, I can be like, dude, you're still talking about your car?
too much. I spend too much time around cars. The YouTube, the Instagram, and all the other friends and the network of the cars takes really a big chunk of my time.
That's your life.
Yes.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate your life. I learn from you. You're my car. I have on occasion called you about, should I buy this car or this car?
Of course.
You know everything. It's really helpful. Thank you so much, man, for coming here, for making the drive, for sharing your thoughts and your expertise. It's really nice to have you here.
It was an absolute pleasure, Jian. It was something that it was a personal, one of those personal things that I wanted to do, to see you and then talk to you and then to definitely tick another box.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you.
The most overrated car is the Toyota. Who knew? Who knew that that's what he would pick, the Toyota, as the most overrated car for Iranians as well. Vahid Amirimoghaddam, thank you again for being here. It was great to have you here in the studio. And remember, you can follow him at Cars I Have Driven. Remember, Roqe Live 6 is coming up February 19th. You can get your tickets now. Go to our Instagram page at Roqe Media. And in the bio there, click on the link, and that'll take you to the tickets for Roqe Live 6, February 19th. In Richmond Hill, just north of Toronto. This is full time for Roqe for today. Thank you to the amazing team who put this show together each week. Savvy, Roham, Tina, Farahi, talented Anahita, and Super P, Parisa Sanjarani. Special thanks to Charming Kimia, the CK. Get better. Your health. Also get better in general. Smart Pega, get better. Methodical Calve, get better. All of us have been sick. Thanks to TRK, the Rising Keon, for your help, even though we haven't seen you for a few weeks. Thank you to all of you out there supporting us and sharing our content. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already on any or all of our platforms. You can find us on Insta at Roqe Media. You can find me on Instagram at Jian Gomeshi. And as ever, I beseech you, Mizun Bashi.